symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
It's recording. It's prediction times. I'm Brent. He's the mayor. He's Glenn. And we are going to talk about NXT Vengeance Day. That's what it's called, right?
It is
Correct.
Vengeance Day, yes.
Okay.
There's a day and vengeance is going to happen.
Okay, there will be vengeance on this day. I assume they're going with it's a V word with a day because Valentine's Day is in February, so
Yeah.
I assume.
That's a good connection of the dots. I did not draw that parallel.
No, I didn't either, but yeah, and it'd be typical of them.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. It's totally NXT of them.
Because you had that thing, New Year's Evil, didn't they?
They did, yeah. Yeah. This is the first one. The they're not called takeovers anymore, but it's a NXT premium live event that won't be in at the Performance Center or whatever they fucking call that place. It's actually going to be in a regular arena in North Carolina, so that'll be interesting for them.
Oh, nice.
I don't think they've done that since the takeover that was in.
Praise be, get ready for those marks.
Oh yeah, we'll have less of the same mark. We won't have the same marks in there, so that's nice.
Well, they were in Asheville, North Carolina tonight for SmackDown.
Well, were they?
Yeah, so kind of makes sense that they're going to be same place. Production crew's going to be right behind them, and
it's going to be at the Spectrum Center, which is a shitty place to get your cable and internet. At least where I live, Mayor, is that a shitty place to get cable and internet where you live? Spectrum?
Yeah, I have Spectrum also, I believe.
I mean, I don't have it here because it's not good, but it might be better where you live.
I think that's what I have, or I did have it. I may have actually gotten rid of it because it wasn't fast enough. I think it processed like 15 megabytes per second or something. I was like, yeah, that's not enough to play video games on.
Yeah, no, that's not going to work for live streaming. We're not going to get a fucking sponsorship from fucking Spectrum because we just fucking trash them.
Cross that off the list. Probably not getting one from McDonald's either.
Oh, probably not. No. We should get one from Coca-Cola though, because England's always drinking that shit.
Maybe Winston Eagle Racing. We might get them.
I think we've already tried to suck up to that. Yep,
yeah, Coca-Cola. They've got some money to throw around in marketing dollars.
Yeah.
Got mine here, Glenn. I got
Before we start talking about Vengeance Day, let's talk about somebody that just about held onto his prediction title by the skin of his teeth. And a three-way draw.
Three-way draw.
I actually had forgotten that I didn't pick Cody Rhodes to win the Royal Rumble, but then I remembered that I didn't pick either one of my picks to be Cody Rhodes to win the Royal Rumble.
You decided not to go with Cody.
A huge mistake on my part, yeah.
And I was very confident in my picks. Even the LA Knight one, I was very confident he was winning.
The entire time that thing's going on, the only thing I'm thinking is I would love to see what the mayor's face looks like in this very instant. That's just what I thought.
Well, luckily, our pizza, we had ordered a sheet size chili cheese Frito pizza, specialty pizza.
That sounds good.
And it just got delivered right as that match was starting. So I kind of just was hovering around shoving pizza in my face and missed like 60% of it probably.
Well, then you didn't miss much. I don't know, Glenn, you probably loved that match, didn't you?
I didn't love it. It wasn't bad. Because it's up there with one of the better of Bray Wyatt's weird matches.
I would have to agree with that too, because I mean, I know they put the lights down that look like fucking cosmic bowling in there, which is where Mayor, you ever done this? You go to the bowling alley, they turn the lights down low, everything's glowing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this was like. It was like,
it was a trip back to high school when you'd go cosmic bowling.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's what I did on like a Friday night.
So I lived not too far from a bowling alley growing up, and they had like teen night where they would do that, and then then you would go there as an adult too because they had cheap beer on Wednesday nights. You didn't make a lot of poor decisions on a Wednesday. Let me tell you what.
That's a Yeah, that sounds a bit like over here, actually. Bowling alleys.
The Midwest and England are not too different of a thing. So I didn't hate it because it didn't have too much Gaga. I know there was a lot of Gaga at the end of it, but I want to see WWEshop.com start selling glow in the dark kendo sticks because that looked like fun.
Yeah.
I feel like LA Knight shined like a star in all of everything that built up to it. Although I don't believe that he was on the show tonight. Was he on SmackDown?
No.
Okay, they're going to let him get removed away from that for a little bit and then probably bring him back.
Involve him in something else. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask. I'm going to ask Glenn this. Glenn, of the two Royal Rumble matches, which one did you think was better? Did you think they were both really good? Did you think one was good, one was not so good?
That was the best Women's Royal Rumble there's been. The guy wasn't bad. The finish was absolutely amazing. The match between Cody and Gunther was absolutely amazing. And I'm glad they gave them a bit of time.
Yeah, I think they said, I read 7 minutes, which is around the same time that Shawn Michaels and Undertaker had in 2007, which before the recent Royal Rumble of last week, I would have probably picked that Shawn Michaels Undertaker ending of 2007 as my favorite Royal Rumble ending ever. But I do think that this one's going to overtake it because it really felt like an actual match. And there was a couple legitimate times where I literally thought that Gunther had fucking re-broke whatever was fucking in Cody's shoulder. I thought he had just ripped that shit apart all over again with one shot.
His chest definitely looks sore.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the finish of the Women's Royal Rumble with the three on the apron, and then Asuka spits the stuff in her eyes, and then I just thought that the ending was really, really well done with the Women's Royal Rumble.
It was because they've created the new sort of Kana Asuka character, more heel character. And the last thing it want to do is suddenly then, but with the misting and everything, it made her look strong as well as giving Rhea Ripley the win.
Yeah, absolutely. Mayor, what are your thoughts on the Royal Rumble?
I absolutely love the men's Royal Rumble. I think I probably have it in either my top 3 to 5 men's Royal Rumbles. I loved it from start to finish, especially the finish, like you were saying. We got a legitimate, pay-per-view main event singles match at the end of a Royal Rumble after Gunther was in there for an hour.
Yeah.
And, I think the way that it was booked and set up, everything made sense to me. Everything, I just thought it was really well done. The same thing with the Women's Rumble. I thought it probably was the best Women's Rumble I remember, or Women's Rumble. And it was really good. I liked the outcome of both of them. And I think they got it right in both cases.
There's one thing I will say about the men's Royal Rumble, though. That I don't know who they had bail out, but it was obvious that somebody at the last minute had decided that they weren't going to be a surprise entrant for them just to throw Booker T in there.
Well, it isn't Texas, so I feel like maybe that's why they threw Booker T back out there. But I know he's not from it. I think he's from Houston, not from South.
Yeah.
What was the point? There were so many of the men's roster that wasn't in that Royal Rumble. Why just chuck Booker T in there unless they had somebody else scheduled as a surprise that no showed for some reason, so they just chuck him in. Because he was there. You got your trunks, get in there.
And I do think NXT did a good job with getting a couple NXT. They got the women's Rumble did a good job getting a couple NXT of the women's wrestlers in there.
They did.
And I kind of wish that the men's side would have done that, but their card is so stacked. Like they could have a 60-man Royal Rumble with the lineup that they have, and it would still be really well done.
Yeah, I know. I got to agree that I thought the men's Royal Rumble was probably in my top 5 Royal Rumble matches ever. It was really entertaining. They made Gunther look like a goddamn star, which he already has, but come out there and go on for that long and come that close to winning it in your first try in a Royal Rumble, it's pretty fucking cool. And you got to see him face off a little bit with Brock. That was the biggest pop in my living room, was when Brock got eliminated by Bobby Lashley. Everybody was, everybody. I don't know what it is about Brock Lesnar getting eliminated, but we fucking love that shit at my house.
The good thing about Gunther is as well is that the stick that even we gave him on the piece of business when he first came to NXT, what they were doing with him, it's good to see since he's got up to the main roster that they've treated him very well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a turnaround for him.
Yeah, Gunther has made a huge transformation in his body as well.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he's had to have dropped 70 pounds and just got shredded in muscle too.
At least 70 years.
He somehow made himself more terrifying than he was before, and I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if early NXT Gunther could have. He probably still could have gone an hour and 10 minutes, but
oh yeah.
Yeah,
that guy's a machine. That guy was a machine. I've seen him have hour matches.
And then I don't think there's anything that needs to be said that we could say more than how the main event was good, and then the ending of it was very interesting, of course, and the story
brutal.
What happened on SmackDown tonight with Sami showing up, and now we're going to get Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber, which is in Canada. Where Sami's from. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Jey Uso. I don't know. It's refreshing to be excited to see where storylines are going, because it's been so long since I felt that way. So it's very refreshing to feel that way.
And I wonder who's really gotten into the direction of that, because the whole Bloodline storyline started before Triple H started taking, control of the ship.
Right.
And it feels like that this is one of the best told storylines maybe since, Mega Powers, Austin McMahon. I mean, it's got to be.
I'd say it's best since Daniel Bryan versus The Authority. And that wasn't even planned out. That just happened organically. So
yeah. But this thing has been, 8 months in the making?
Yeah.
Terrible timeline. So it seems like it's been close to maybe even a year.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, great stuff. But let's get into really something that sometimes I don't find so great, and that's NXT. They've got a premium live event tomorrow, which I probably won't watch live, and maybe I'll go back and watch some of the matches and some of them I won't, because Duke plays North Carolina tomorrow, and some things takes precedent over wrestling, if you know what I mean. The first match is going to be 2 out of 3 falls. It's Apollo Crews versus Carmelo Hayes. And the mayor of Canton, I'm going to let you pick who's going to win this 2 out of 3 falls match. Is it going to be Apollo Crews or Carmelo Hayes? Who's going to get the chair at the barbershop, even though Apollo ain't got no hair?
So this is for the chair at the barbershop, not the head of the table.
I made that up.
Oh. I thought one guy vanished from the barbershop.
Well, that would be a loss, really. To Apollo Crews,
why does Apollo care? He doesn't have hair.
That's what I said. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? What are they cutting exactly?
Yeah. Gosh, I mean, I feel like NXT is always constantly going with the youth winning, so I probably am just going to go with Carmelo Hayes winning here, but I really think it would be interesting to see Trick and Apollo join forces.
Huh.
But I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, we're sticking with it would make no sense at this point. 0 sense to do that. Other than just shock people, and sometimes shocks are bad, like the Shockmaster. So Carmelo wins.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I think Carmelo wins too, unless Carmelo Hayes is going to be called up to the main roster soon. And I'm not taking that off the table and saying that's not going to happen. It very well could. I don't see him losing this match either. I'm sure he'll win the first fall. Apollo in the second. He'll win the third. I'm sure Trick Williams will have a hand in this at some point. Glenn, what do you think? You going with us, or you going the other way?
No, I'll go with you. They've done everything they possibly can with Apollo Crews. As far as it originally went back to NXT to win the NXT title. And that didn't happen, despite 2 tries at it. So, so they're relegated it. They're relegated him down to the North American, and now it's just a feud with Mello. So I think it's just a slow spiral out the door.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know where he goes from here either if he doesn't win this match, but I guess we'll find out. Maybe he can feud with Trick Williams for 6 months.
And out of all 3, I feel like Trick Williams is the one with the most potential out of all 3 of them to actually, be a star. And I don't mean
like someone that we used to know used to say that Trick's got something. So
yeah, it's got a trick up his sleeve.
And I like Carmelo in the ring. Carmelo's an amazing wrestler. It's just sometimes his promos they all sound exactly the same. They sound exactly the same. It's all the same. But otherwise,
he sounds like a wrestler that does wrestling. He doesn't sound like a star that does wrestling.
No,
if that makes sense.
Pretty goddamn good. Yeah. The next one it's the NXT Women's I'm sorry, the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match. It is the Lollipop Guild, Kiana Chase. That's her name, right? No, I'm sorry. Yes.
Katana Chance.
I'm sorry. I'm still trying to call her Casey Catanzaro. Chance and her buddy Caden Carter. They're taking on Fallon Henley and Kiana James. There we go. Which Kiana James and Fallon Henley rightfully deserve this match because they've won exactly 1 tag team match together. So, I mean, if anybody deserves to be tag team champions, it's them. You know what I mean? So, good for them. The Lollipop Guild probably wins because I imagine they're going to further the storyline of Henley and James not liking each other, or I don't know, whatever. I don't care. I don't even fucking care. Glenn, what do you think?
Again, yeah. They've painted themselves into a corner with this women's tag division. They've got the Lollipop just hold on to it forever now. No, they had a decent tag team they had in the division, and now be 2 singles in the main event. So,
right. I mean, the only legitimate tag team they had in the company, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, what about you there? You gonna take a different stance here and take your girl Fallon Henley?
I mean, I'm falling in love with that one, but no, we're not. but not enough to pick her to win. The Lollipop Guild, as we love to call them on this show, is going to retain their titles, and I see a legitimate, possibly tag team coming in to challenge them between Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. I see those 2 teaming up to actually go after the tag team titles take the titles off the Lollipop Guild.
I mean, that wouldn't be so bad, would it, Glenn?
No, because they're not doing anything in the singles.
Right.
That's my prediction,
I mean, and as you know, in the NXT Women's Tag Team Division, all you got to do is win 1. You win 1 and you're in. You're bam.
That's it. Yeah.
Win 1 match. That's all you got to do. So no big deal.
And they
technically that's defeating the only other tag team because there's like 3.
Right.
So if you beat 1, you're technically the number 1 contender.
You know what? That's good.
And let's face it, the company has got previous for taking deadly enemies and chucking them together as a tag team.
Yeah, I mean, Braun Strowman went on the internet talking about how he hates small flippy guys, and they said, "Well, guess what, buddy? Your new tag team partner is a small flippy guy."
Yeah.
And you guys are going to be the number 1 contenders, man.
Yeah. Sheamus is Cesaro at the end of a series of 7 matches. What they do? Oh yeah, we'll make them a tag team.
Yeah, you guys like to beat each other up, so you guys should just be a tag team. The next one is the North American Championship match. Wes Lee is the champion. He is taking on Dijak, which is better than the names that they were calling him before. Glenn, it's your turn to go first, buddy.
I'm going to go for Dijak. I think that they could do the heel with that title for a little run. Excuse me.
Mayor?
I really like Wesley in the ring, but I kind of feel like this whole title carrying has kind of been stale, and I don't know if it's his fault or the way that they've presented it on the show. So I always pick kind of how I think I would book this and just give it a chance with Dijak, because I think the guy has been he's got everything I think that you could turn into a champion. So
and they owe him big time as well.
Fuck yeah, they do. Jesus Christ.
So I'm gonna say that Dijak wins the championship here. Oh crap, my dogs are breaking in. Hang on. You can go and make your pick. I'll be right back.
Got some run-ins. Well, I mean, we've agreed on every match. Well, we might not agree on the last two because I have a good fucking feeling which way the mayor's going to lean on both these last two matches. I don't think I need to go on a limb there. And plus, who knows what I'll do with the tag team match. Dude, I'm going to agree with you guys. I think it's time for Dijak to have some sort of something because he hasn't had really anything. And then they stuck him up on the main roster and put him under a stupid fucking mask and gave him a dumbass name. And
yeah.
I've always been a big fan of his since he was Donovan Dijak in Ring of Honor, because he's a big guy and he can do a lot of stuff that guys his size just should not be able to do.
He came
Dijak as well.
He came from the chaotic academy with the likes of the War Machine and Sasha Banks and all that lot. Everybody raved about how good he was for a guy his size. And they were expecting big things of him. As you say, in Ring of Honor, he did well. And then they took him to WWE and they basically shat on him.
I mean, he was having really
didn't even give him toilet paper.
Yeah, he was having really good matches at Black and Gold NXT before they put him in fucking Retribution or whatever the fuck that was called.
Yeah.
He was having good matches with Keith Lee, and I think it's time to do something big with him. So yeah, let's give him the NXT North American Championship, let a heel run with it. I'm taking Dijakovic too. And then we got the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Title Match. It's the New Day versus Gallus versus Pretty Deadly versus Chase U. Oh, Mayor, what are you going to do with this one?
New Day, Gallus, Pretty Deadly, Chase U?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that Pretty Deadly wins it.
Yeah,
I feel like they get the titles back after they lost them to, provided Kofi can even make it after it looked like he killed himself on that chair at the Royal Rumble.
Oh, well, he was at the racetrack earlier today. He should be fine.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, then, I'm going Pretty Deadly. I think they win it back. I don't see any reason to put it on Chase U. Although it probably would be pretty entertaining, but it wouldn't be. I don't think it's the time to do that. And I know you want to just punch Duke Hudson in the face, even and Chase
every fucking time I see him, I will punch him in the face. He's up to something. I don't trust him.
So, Pretty Deadly.
It's gonna be time for a side plate check. This is the only one that I'm looking at that I really don't know who's gonna like. I don't feel confident in any direction.
I think you can rule out two of them.
I think there's no way Chase U wins it. I think that there's no way
New Day retain.
That New Day, yes. Glenn's probably going to say the same thing that I'm going to say. So Gallus has only got 2 guys right now, but usually Gallus has got 3 guys, and maybe another Coffee brother will show up to help them win the NXT Tag Team Championships, and that's what I'm going with. I'm taking Gallus boys on top. What do you think, Glenn?
My head is saying Gallus. My heart wants Pretty Deadly.
Well, that's what my heart wants too, Glenn.
But what's worrying me is that there's only one other tag team around that either of them can wrestle at WrestleMania weekend, and they are also British heels.
Yeah.
It's in the schism, so it's a toss-up. But yeah, I think we'll go Gallus. I think I will go Gallus.
There we go. Me and Glenn are NXT UK homers, so we took Gallus. And everybody loves Pretty Deadly, and that's what the heart really wants. Everybody wants them to win, just like the mayor said. And now we're going to get to some picks that are going to be really tough, I think, for the mayor. I don't know if the mayor's going to be able to decide who really wants to win these last two matches. He's really going to have a hard time deciding. The first one is a triple threat match for the women's championship. It is Roxanne Perez, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane. I guess I'm going first. I think Roxanne Perez wins here. I mean, she's a prodigy. She was in the Royal Rumble. She looked great in the Royal Rumble. I love Roxanne Perez. I'm taking Roxanne Perez. We're going to make the mayor hold it in until the end. Glenn, who are you picking in this one?
I'm going with you on Perez because I think that there's more of a story to be told with the two Toxic Girls imploding than one of them actually having the title.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Mayor. Here's your chance. Tell us how you feel.
All right. So what's going to happen is Roxanne Perez had a nice showing at the Royal Rumble. And, you know, got some eyes. Maybe it'll come down and watch this pay-per-view, hopefully. But the way that it's going to play out is the Toxic Girls, as you like to call them, they're going to be double teaming her throughout the match. And they're essentially going to, you know, render her like on most triple threat matches where someone's gone for a little while. So Roxanne Perez is going to get thrown out of the ring. But in doing so, JC Jane is going to sneak attack Gigi Dolan, get the quick pinfall, grab the title, and get out of there. JC Jane is going to be your next women's champion, and that is going to be the story behind the Toxic Girls and Roxanne Perez, and then they both will have issues with JC Jane, as I think Gigi could fill in more of in a babyface role, and JC Jane could just eat up that heel, chicken shit bitch heel that I think she could play off better than just about anyone else in any company right now.
Well, Mayor, I got to tell you, I'm not shocked by those findings of that.
No, never am I.
No, not at all. In the main event, they've done a great job building up with this one. A lot of good backstage stuff. Braun Breaker is defending the NXT Championship against Grayson Waller. It is in a steel cage, ladies and gentlemen. Glenn, who's it going to be?
If this had been the NXT pay-per-view just before WrestleMania, I would go with Waller because I think that Breaker's a shoo-in to move up after WrestleMania. But because it's this early, I think Breaker retains.
What do you? Okay, Mayor of Canton, you're picking Braun Breaker. We don't need to even ask you, right?
Oh no, I'm not picking Braun Breaker. No, I'm picking Grayson Waller. He is going to the Grayson Waller effect is going to be in full effect on Valentine's Day. He's going to be leaving with the gold and all of the ladies, as only Grayson Waller can do. And I think that he's been tricking Braun Breaker and outmaneuvering him mentally in week after week after week.
I mean, it's not hard.
True.
So you ask yourself, how is Braun Breaker going to outmaneuver him mentally in a cage? But I think there's a way. I think we've seen it before where outside interference is played in. I don't know how.
Yeah, a cage match, man. That's the whole point, to keep him out. What do you mean? That never happens in a cage match.
God damn it. You can't have interference in a cage match.
Unless handcuffs get dumped into the cage or umpteen other different things happen in cages.
So I feel like he's going to outsmart him in another way, and it'll be a way that it will not make him look weak physically, but it'll just be outsmarting him in another mental game. So it won't completely kill Braun Breaker's credibility. And Braun Breaker will lose the title. Grayson Waller will win it. And that's what I see happening.
Well, Mayor Kenton, I think there's a lot of wishful thinking in those last 2 picks.
I pick with my heart, man. It's all I know how to do.
No, that's absolutely fine. I get it. There was once a person in WWE who doesn't wrestle for WWE anymore, whose name used to be Sasha Banks, that I never picked against either. So, I get it. I think that Braun Breaker is going to win, although I do think Grayson Waller winning is probably the move that they need to make. For me, Braun Breaker, like when I first saw him, I was super high on him, but he's just gotten stale for me. And maybe I'm the only one. I don't know if that's how other people feel about it, but it's just
they don't seem to have anybody for him. Every feud he has goes on too long.
Yeah.
This is the third match with Waller. Yeah. 2 with Apollo.
Now he actually lost it to Dolph at one point in time, didn't he?
Yeah, he lost it to Dolph and then got it back again, and then
so like a Raw after WrestleMania, he won it back.
Yeah, they do stretch out his title runs.
They really do. Yeah, they really do. But yeah, if I was booking this thing, I would just have Grayson Waller win it, because I feel like having a chicken shit heel right now would be a good way to go as your champion. But I do think Braun Breaker is going to win this thing. But it should be interesting to see. So there we go. That's all the matches for NXT Vengeance Day. Make sure if you've watched this on YouTube, you're going to head over to whatever podcast app that you listen to or have and check out the new episode of the Mayor of Superstars, which we're going to get into right now. It is the January 30th, 1993 episode of WF Superstars. It's the show right after the Royal Rumble, so we're going to kind of get a little bit of a Royal Rumble recap to kick this thing off. Are you guys ready?
Cleveland, Ohio, are you ready to rock?
We are here for the mullets.
Some Joe Dirts out there, some Kentucky waterfalls.